Greetings and salutations, everyone. Today I want to give my opinion on the Munsters series. Now, the Munsters did come out in the 60s, so odds are there are not a lot of people who probably know about it. Even if you didn't hear about it, I suggest you guys actually go out and watch the show because it's a very good show. It's a classic. There are probably more people who know about the Addams Family than the Munsters, I would say, because the Addams Family do have more movies that are somewhat recent, more recent, I would say, actually, compared to the Munsters. Now, the Munsters, they've had more stuff come out after they premiered in the 60s, but they only had like 2 seasons of the show, 2 movies with the original actors. Well, the Munsters Revenge is the only one that doesn't have the original Eddie in it. Butch Patrick, I guess, got too old to be in that film, and they wanted to keep Eddie a kid, so yeah. They even replaced Marilyn in the show, but at least you weren't able to notice it that well. And in the movie as well, with Munsters Go Home, and again with Munsters Revenge. So, they like to replace Marilyn. The original series is very good, but they even did have a reboot called The Munsters Today, where it wasn't the original actors. You could tell it came out in the 80s, and in the first season, it had lyrics to the song. It was a decent attempt. Everyone tries their best to be like the original characters from the series, and that is great. It has an interesting concept with the Munsters being asleep since the 60s and wake up in the 80s. I thought that was pretty interesting to see how they would adjust to modern time if they ever do reboot it again, which that's a video for another day, probably after this one. They could possibly do that again. I don't know. That the Munsters Today is more of just it's a good attempt. And then we have Mockingbird Lane. I don't hate it, but I wouldn't say I love it. I mean, I think it's more of like supposed to be a darker, well, not more of like a dark comedy. But with them making jokes about Marilyn while they too kind of look normal, it's kind of just, I guess maybe if she's the only one without powers or anything, because they all basically have some type of powers. Like, if you ever seen the pilot, it's you would know what I'm talking about. It's kind of hard to find now. I've watched it a while back ago, and I tried to look for it again. I still remember a good bit of Mockingbird Lane, but still, I remember the jokes in it, and I've seen more clips out of it from YouTube to kind of get a refresher for this video. And Grandpa on the show, Herman, they at least, I think, have still that banter that's known and loved from the original Munsters, but I don't know if them just not looking like monsters, the Universal monsters, works for this case. So yeah, the Munsters is, again, the original Munsters is a good show. Munsters Today is a good attempt if you ever do check out the Munsters, to go to that and enjoy what they've made. And the movies, everything's basically a good attempt. Besides Mockingbird Lane, I more of just say like they try to make it modern, which ain't that bad to me. I think I might make a separate video talking about Mockingbird Lane. But yeah, that's basically all I have for you today. Basically, if you haven't checked out the Munsters, check it out. And if you have, which I want to give my opinion real quick, I love the Munsters. I love the original series, the original actors, movies and everything, the original movies and everything. I love them. So, and I felt, again, the Munsters Today was a good attempt, and it worked for its time. but you could definitely tell it came out in the 80s, which ain't that bad of a thing, but you could see it aged. um, but yeah, that's basically all I have for you guys today. Tell me what you guys thought about the Munsters series or franchise in a whole. Leave a comment below in the comment section, and I will get to them. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. If you like this video, click the like button. If you haven't yet, subscribe. If you like to see any more videos, up next I'm going to make videos about talking about the Munsters reboot that they are talking about since 2017. So yeah, see you all next time.